The following podcast is taken from a live broadcast on Inspire FM.
We are young, we are powerful.
We are female, we are Muslims.
We are Sisters Speak, destroying the stereotype of stigmatized Muslim women.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to Sisters Speak on Inspire 105.1 FM. You're here with me, Faiza.
And me, Sadia.
And this has been a very long time since we've had a show.
And since we've been together in a show.
The OG Sisters Speak, if you guys have ever listened to our show back in the day.
Yeah, we literally started this together about 4 years ago.
Longer than
Just
that.
us, and now, here we are. No, we started Sister Speak.
Oh, yeah.
4 years ago, technically.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Wow.
In your room.
Yeah.
In your house.
It's been a very long time
It's been
since
a long road.
Yeah. So, welcome to our show. Thank you for joining us this evening. Sisters Speak is basically a platform for Muslim girls to voice their own opinions and views on current events and issues and form discussions on general topics such as religion, culture, politics, social media, Islamophobia. Please note that all views and opinions are our own, and we respect all other opposing or similar views and opinions. So today our topic is, I hate to say this because it's so cringy, but New Year, New Me.
New Year.
Woo, woo, Happy New Year. Even though it's like
Happy new decade.
It's mid-Jan,
everyone.
and we're saying
it's
this.
still a new year for Sister Speak.
Wow. And
It
for everyone
is.
else out there who's
It's our
listening.
5th year. 2020 will be our year 5.
It sounds kind of morbid.
Crazy.
But anyways,
We're
we're going to be
growing.
discussing this whole, is the new year overrated? And basically, do we have our lives together this decade?
Not yet.
Not yet. Plans for the decade.
Oh my God, crazy.
Maybe the importance of starting over, how that always somehow links into, you know, when a new year starts, we all want to start over, start a new chapter, maybe do something new. So that will be the main basis of our discussion today.
Oh, you know what? Should we ask all our listeners, if you've got any New Year's resolutions, text us in and
Yeah.
let us know what it is.
And how can they do that?
They can text us in on 07779 481822 and WhatsApp us on that same number, or call in on 01582 481822, but please preferably text. Because
Or
calls could be a hassle.
You can,
Or you can comment on our Facebook Live.
yeah, where we will be reading them out as well.
Yeah, thanks.
So that was that. Thanks for that little introduction there. So before we do get into our main topic, we do this little segment on our show, if we were ever consistent, called Thought for the Week. So this is just a little story, something we want to share, something inspiring on Inspire 105.1 FM. But or it could just be like a little rant or something. So what's your thought
Do
for
you
this
have
week?
one first?
No. So maybe you'd go first.
So when I start talking, that's where Pfizer starts accumulating her thoughts.
Basically.
What is my thought of the week? Honestly, I'm having such a hard time. Okay, maybe it's a rant then.
Ooh.
So I just, sorry, I'm ill.
She's ill. She's giving me the
Cough
cold
away
as
from the mic. So I just graduated, and finding out about the real world. Pfizer's had to do this about a year ago, but I took a gap year, so I was
I think
like,
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Did you graduate 2 years ago?
Yeah, in like 2018.
How was? Oh wait, it's 2020. Okay, we get it. You know what I mean.
do I?
As in, I graduated in 2019 summer. Yeah, so then I had like a summer internship, and then afterwards I was like, what do I do now? And I'm still at that stage, and like it sucks because you just like apply for all these
doesn't.
jobs, and like you get interviews, and then you go, and then you get rejected, and then you go to another interview, and it's just like the recruitment scene is so competitive in my field, and like there's nothing close by that's relevant to me. So it's like I'm trying to find that balance of finding work that's enjoyable for me. And right now I haven't found it, and now it's literally just
You're just there
working
kind of
to-
thing.
Yeah, to survive. But yeah,
Wow.
it's yeah. I know. Yeah, this is the most uncertain time of my life. Like before you know what you're gonna do next. Like, oh, I'm gonna go high school now. Oh, I'm gonna go college, sixth form, uni. Now what do I do? So
Don't think
how
of
do I
it as a
wrap it
bad
around?
thing, though.
I know I've got all this freedom, and I'm just like, everyone's like, it will sort itself out. Like, eventually you'll get the perfect job, and it will fall into place. But I'm just like, I want it to happen now.
Yeah, I know.
I just
But
hate
sometimes
this stage.
it's just life.
Do you know what
it's
it is
not
that makes
easy.
it even worse? Because I feel like I've always been the person who's had it all together. Like,
You
I'm
have.
always... See, exactly, even you say it. It's just like, so right now I'm like, I don't have it all together, and I feel like I can't... I don't even want to meet up with people. I don't want to like post anything, because it's like, I don't want people asking me what I've got going on right now, because I'm like, until I've
It's
got
just like
something
additional
sorted.
pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Until I've got something sorted, something impressive that I have to say, I just don't want to communicate with people and talk about my life, which is a lot of like, which was really annoying, because I feel like everyone's goes through this level, but
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not a bad thing, because sometimes especially after university, like, it's so hard trying to find something that you want, because it's like the fresh start. Like,
How long
oh,
did it
now
take
I
you?
finish it. It did take me a while,
how long?
couple months.
Okay, yeah, same. So
But
I'm
like,
still on
even
those
then,
months.
when you want to change when you're at another place as
Yeah.
well, even that was difficult for me, because I was at a place and I just wasn't happy.
Yeah.
And then it was just that going through the constant applying while you're at another place
Yeah.
as well. So
Oh, I also have a complaint about the real world.
The real
so you know
world.
how you do these 9 to 5s? How are you ever supposed to get a new job if all the interviews are during that 9 to 5? That is a way to keep you in that job, isn't it?
you
Oh,
just
what a scam.
use your annual leave, book that day off. That's basically it. Or you can request it after. You know, some people do
Mm-hmm. Call in
accommodate. Yeah, call it sick. No, but some job places, they do accommodate for people who are working 9 to 5, so they can
Yeah.
come in afterwards. So it's not really that bad.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
also have a little rant
Okay.
on top of that. So right
There we
now, as I
go.
was saying, I'm sick, right? But I'm doing, where I'm working right now, I'm still on my probation, which means I can't call in sick. So right now, I'm literally making everyone else at my workplace sick. So now they're having to call in sick. And this company is losing money. So I'm like, you should just let me take a few days to recover. But no.
Well, this is the real world, and sometimes you have to go to work
And
when you are
sometimes
sick.
you have to make everyone else sick to make a statement.
I would not advise anyone who's
I'm not
listening
doing this on
to
purpose.
follow that advice.
I'm just not allowed to take sick days. And I think that's horrible.
Yeah, someone's just upset about not being able to take sick days, clearly.
Yeah.
But you know what? You're going to get through it, and it's going to be fine.
Just waiting for payday.
I think everyone is. January is the longest month, I feel.
Yeah, no, I didn't get paid last
Like,
month.
we're
either.
only on the 14th of Jan. Only.
Yeah, I thought it was February. I thought it was almost February. So, like, I was talking to my
Yeah.
friend today, and I was like, oh yeah, it's almost February. And it was like,
like-
no, wait, it's not. It's not even the
you
middle
still
of
like
Jan.
have half a month left.
That's crazy.
It's a long while to go. But I think that's the whole point, you know, New Year. January comes and it's like the longest, and then February, then March, and then it goes so fast. Like, Ramadan is literally around the corner.
That's crazy.
Like, ugh. Timings.
It's gonna be the first Ramadan in 3 years that I've actually been in Luton.
Wow. Right. Anyways,
What's
moving
yours?
on. Oh, God. I thought you were going to forget.
No. What's your thought of the week, Faiza?
My thought of the week actually stems kind of from your one
Mm-hmm.
to an extent, but it's mainly based on the fact that, you know, you don't know what people have going on in their lives. Everyone has something going on in their lives, and sometimes you should ask people if they're okay. Just check up on them, check in on them. Like, you don't know what's going on in someone's life. So I'd say do your bit as a friend, as a family member, relative, neighbor, anything like that. Just check in on
Yeah.
your friends, your family. Like, everyone's going through something, especially people who are maybe constantly working and they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
No, they don't know what they're doing. As in, like, they're constantly working and you
So
just
they're
think,
not reaching out.
they're just working, they're at work, they're
Okay.
fine, kind of thing. Or they're at home and, you know, they think they're chilling, kind of thing. But just check in on people, because you don't know what everyone's going through. You might think someone who, for example, does have it together, or someone who, you know, seems to be happy all the time is okay, when sometimes they're not. Or people who, you know, are struggling, but you just don't say anything because you're like, oh, they'll be fine. But, you know, sometimes giving someone hope contributes to something better in their life.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes all people need is that little bit of hope, and they can feel much better. You don't know what you could do to someone's day. You don't know how you can make someone feel by just saying a few words to them, positive words, obviously, you know, giving them that little glimpse of hope and making them feel better about themselves. Yeah. So just, you know, be aware of people around you as well. Because, you know, sometimes you do want to talk to certain people, see how they are, but then, you know, life is in the way.
Yeah.
And then it's just like next day, and then days just go by and then that's it. You barely speak to them.
That's actually so happened to us lot
Yeah.
because of real life.
So definitely I would say try to, you know, just reach out to people. Maybe new year, fresh start, you know, reach out to people maybe that you've done wrong in the past and you want to sort everything out. Reach out to people who you know who are always kind of busy or they're struggling, you know, just
Oh, there's such a cut-off
Let them
culture now,
know.
though. Don't you think?
the cut-off culture.
Yeah, it's like New Year's. If I haven't spoke to you last year, I'm going to cut you
Yeah.
off.
Or if you haven't made the effort with me, I'm no longer going to speak to you.
Yeah.
So I don't need you in my life. Like, no,
not good.
like how can you do
People
that
are
to your
busy.
own? Yeah, but how can you do that to your own friends and your family?
Yeah.
So, you know, especially those closest to you, like take care and, you know, check in on them. Anything could be going on. And God forbid, you know, you don't want time to pass so quickly that, you know, God forbid that they pass away. And then it's all you're going to be left with is, oh, what if I just picked up my phone and I just messaged them? What if I could have just met them? What if I could have just called them? You know, you don't want to be stuck full of what ifs, just go and do it. So, yeah. Obviously in a nice manner, but not in a forceful manner, like you need to meet me right now kind of thing. But like in a nice manner. And you know, you don't know what those few words could do to people. They could help them
Yeah,
in
maybe
many
they've been
ways that you
thinking
might even
about it
think.
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah. So I think that's my thought for the week.
Cool.
So
Can I just say,
yeah. Go on.
on an unrelated
Scared.
term, you know how Faiza's talking for ages right now and how you could probably see her on Facebook Live? This girl doesn't let me take a video of her for our Instagram page. And also, if you'd like to follow us on Instagram, please follow us on @SisterSpeak.
Yeah, marketing promo there for ya. You can see Sadia on there. Anyways, I think we have one comment in. Hamera Mahmood.
Hi.
She says, no new resolutions, just going to try and achieve the goals I've had previously. I feel this year has to be the year to achieve them. Probably push more to work towards them.
What are your goals?
Yeah,
You
let us know your
us
goals, Hamera. That's a good one, to be honest. Maybe, to be honest, I feel like that's more me as well. That relates to me as well. Like, I have set goals, and all I'm going to do this year is just try and reach them as
Well,
much.
obviously.
Yeah, but like, they're not
But what
really...
are the goals? That's what we want to know.
Yeah, but they're not like resolutions, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the goals are the resolutions, aren't they?
No, like New Year resolutions. Like, what are you gonna?
I
do.
put my goals on as my resolutions.
Oh
Don't you?
no.
Like,
As in,
what do
like-
you say, like one of your resolutions, the summer school, for example.
Oh yeah.
Like that's a goal, but it's also a resolution. It's kind of the same thing. Don't you think?
Is it?
So
Let us know.
I'm a resolution pro man. I don't keep them, but I hold
Right.
them to account. Oh, let me give some context. I don't know if you were here. No, you definitely weren't here for that show. I was talking about my diary,
Okay.
and I've had it since 2010, and I finished it
Oh my
in
gosh.
2019 December. And now I've just started a new diary
Oh.
this year. So literally, what I'm gonna do now for the rest of my life is have a decade diary.
A decade diary.
Yeah, so every year I have my resolutions at the start. I write them down, and at the end of the year, I'm just like, have I
done
Have I
this? Did
Yeah.
you?
Last year's one. I actually can't remember now.
Do you think it's hard to achieve goals?
Yeah, depends on what you make the goals.
You know,
This
like
year,
at the
I've just
beginning
given
of the
myself
year,
3 set ones.
You get the usual. I'm gonna join the gym.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that's me
going
every
to start a diary. I'm going to start saving money by not ordering off
That's
Uber
one
Eats.
thing that I've put down for so long and never done.
Like, I mean, how realistic are your goals though?
This time
'Cause it's very
around,
important to
I've
make
tried
sure
to make it
that
more
they are.
realistic.
Yeah.
I've tried to limit it so they're less like idealistic, more like, yeah, these are the things I actually really need to do.
Fair enough. So before we get into our main topic now, we are going to discuss the hot topics for this week. So this is just basically a few things that have come to light that we want to discuss before moving on to our main topic. And this week, I believe they have chosen Meghan Markle and Prince Harry leaving the royal family. Of course. Everyone must have seen this all over the news every single hour of every single day. How do you feel, Sadia? And also, those listening, let us know your thoughts. How do you feel about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry leaving the royal family? Let us know on 07779 481822, or you can comment on our Facebook Live. You want to start?
I love it. I support it. I just don't know how much we could talk about it on this.
As in, like, yes or no? You agree?
Yeah. Like, they're not using... They're trying to be financially independent, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, you married into a royal family.
No. What I'm saying is, like, a lot of people say the institution of, like, the royal family is outdated, and, you know, they use loads of tax money, the people's money, and it's... A lot of people don't agree with that.
Right.
So them having this, like, financial independence now is saying we're not going to use tax money, the people's money to fund our parties and our rent and all that stuff. And I agree with that.
With that bit?
I agree with the whole thing.
Really? But if she married into a royal family, so surely
it's
you
his
can't just
decision
pick
as well.
and choose
It's his
when
decision
to be a
too.
royal and when
And
to
also,
not
she's
be a royal.
faced so much discrimination by
Yeah, I agree
being
with that.
as a part of this,
Yeah.
a part of the royal family. So absolutely,
But she knew what she was getting into.
I don't think she did.
You're marrying into a royal
I think
family.
she was quite hopeful, and then I think like the media took it really, really far.
But then
with
she
some of
comes across
the
as
racism
this,
that she's had to
like,
face.
who's always for the women, and
But we're
be
not.
strong.
Why are we just blaming her? The whole Prince.
I'm playing devil's advocate, by the way. Okay,
no,
so
the whole
please
Prince,
don't come
like
for it.
Prince Harry is the one who technically, like, he's going through with it too. No, this man's been a royal for his whole
So
life.
why aren't people like atting him?
Sexism, racism, you want me to go on? A lot of people do not like her because there's, quote, something about her. Please explain to me what this thing is.
Anyways,
I don't know, like, what's the difference between her and Kate? Why don't people like her? We all know.
okay. Moving on.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
It's an interesting
What do you
debate,
think,
I think.
Faisal? Like,
I think
is it a good or bad?
it's a good thing, but at the same time, I don't because
Why not?
you're a royal. Like, you can't
So-
just pick and choose when you don't want to be a royal,
They're still technically royal.
and you still
though.
have duties and
They
stuff
still
you
have
need
their
to
title,
fulfill.
but I think it's.
Yeah, but you can't just be like, oh, I don't want to be royal anymore, so bye.
Why not? A lot of them have.
They still fulfill their duties.
No.
Yeah.
No. What's his name? Queen Elizabeth's dad's brother, who was supposed to be king. Didn't he like marry an
Outsider, yeah.
Yeah, and then he just completely was like, no, not going to be king. And then Queen Elizabeth's
So
dad
then maybe
went
that's something that people should take into account.
in. Yeah.
but
it's
then again,
like-
not
it's
many
like
people
Harry was
know
going
that,
to
though.
be king.
Yeah, no.
So, like, what is a royal duty anyway? What do they do?
Yeah.
What would they do differently? I actually don't know. Like, what? I don't look into the royals. They're not exactly a part of my.
It's just Meghan Markle that you're concerned with. For the people.
I'm just concerned about this because of how
The narrative's played out in
Yeah.
the media.
Yeah. Other than that, I wouldn't really care about the royals very much.
Wow.
I'm not really concerned about them, but I just don't like what it's presented about British society.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Do you look into it?
Well, from what I've seen, it's all that's in the news at the moment.
Yeah,
Which is kind of, I do feel sorry for Meghan.
absolutely.
Because it's not fair. She's been ridiculed. Like, she's literally been nitpicked at every single thing. It's not fair that a woman has to go through that as well.
Like, there was one where they was like, oh, Meghan's like holding her baby bump. She's showing off, like,
Yeah.
she's pregnant. What do you mean she's showing
how
off?
is
She's
she-
holding
Yeah.
her stomach. I imagine that's heavy. And then you've got a comparison of Kate Middleton holding her belly, and she's like, oh, she's like angelic.
a swan. Like, what are you doing? Like, what?
The comparisons are crazy. It's not fair at all.
Wow.
And just because of that, I'm like, you deserve it. They should be financially independent. You don't deserve, like,
So you
them
agree?
to be. Yeah, absolutely.
Fair enough. And the second hot topic this week is...
Oh, actually, I've got something to add to that.
Okay, go on.
So a
The
lot of
rant's
people
not over,
have
guys.
been like, oh, but have you seen Harry's past? Like, he's had like a past of being a part of the army.
Yeah.
I think there were pictures of him like doing some Nazi salute or something like that. And yeah, like when he was a teenager, young adult kind of thing. And then suddenly he's now, he's married a mixed race woman, and he's
Yeah.
teaching the royal family. It's just a question of like, has he redeemed himself? Is that him redeeming himself? Like, Are we saying like, okay, that's all excused now? Or are we like, no, he still needs to apologize for all that stuff? Has he apologized? I don't think he has. I'm not sure if he has. And also, everyone's talking about this, but how much outrage was there about the Prince Andrew stuff?
Yeah,
No,
that's
they didn't have a
yeah.
meeting. Did they dismiss him out of the royal family? No. He doesn't get as much ridicule as Meghan Markle, who held her baby bump.
Okay, moving on now. Our second hot topic this week.
That's what you think.
No comment. Moving on to our second hot topic this week is the Australian bushfires, which is really sad because this has been going on for a long while now.
Yeah.
Like the whole country is basically on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't actually looked much into it.
From the news. That's all I've got.
No, there's a lot going on. The climate change movement.
Yeah.
You know, I think they were about to put, you know, the group Extinction Rebellion. I think the Metropolitan Police grouped them as a terrorist organisation.
Yes.
I was like, what? That's really confusing.
That's only because of the threats to the public. They have to think about the safety of the public.
Are we allowed to debate this on Inspire?
No.
Okay. Cool.
Anyways, let's just put all our thoughts and prayers into those who are currently have lost their homes. They've lost a lot of their belongings as well due to the bushfires, and they've had to like literally evacuate and leave everything. And honestly, how many of us can actually do that right now? God forbid it happen, but imagine being literally forced out your home because everything's being burnt down.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
not even that.
Like, we should be so grateful for that, like the shelter and roof that we have over our head as well. It's so like it's so shocking to see. That's what's happening right now.
Do you know who I feel worse for? The Indigenous people in these
Yeah.
areas, because they've been the people who have like used the least resources, contributing the absolute least to climate change and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But they're the first to probably experience all of that and like die from these fires and stuff. And it's just like, wow, the oppression on top of oppression. It's not fair on them at all.
That's really sad.
Yeah, and they also have the least opportunity to actually escape it.
Yeah, sure. But just taking the time out, you know, reading for them, contributing towards. I know there's a lot of people doing charity work to fund for those who have suffered in the bushfires and stuff as well. So, you know, please do bear that in mind as well. It will be so helpful if you could help their cause. So, moving on to our main topic before we hit the break, and then when we come back, we'll continue. Our main topic today was obviously regarding New Year, New Me. Is New Year overrated? And, you know, reaching New Year's goals and resolutions. We have had another comment in saying from Arsalan Khan. I think I said that right. He says, a goal is not one's resolution. My New Year resolution is to get back to the gym and work out properly. As for 2 years now, I didn't get any time to work out because I've been busy with business and stuff. But this isn't my goal, clearly, as my goal is my career in what I'm doing right now.
I still disagree. A goal is still a resolution. I'm going to fight this till my death.
If you disagree with what Sadia has just said, please comment and let us know your thoughts. Is a goal a resolution? Is it the same thing? Is it not? Why is it not?
What is the definition of a resolution?
You tell me.
Let's Google it.
Either way, I feel as though a new year approaches, I feel like more or less the majority agree that we all set some sort of goal. Whether we write it down or not, we kind of have something set in mind that, oh, I'm going to do this year, or I'm going to start this year. But do we all achieve it at the end? Or is it just really, really hard because life obviously gets in the way no matter how much we want to do something? Sadia? Do you think more or less we reach the goals that we set at the beginning of the year?
No, mostly not.
But then, to be honest, you can also time
But I like
when
having
you'd
the
want to
intention.
reach. Yeah.
Like, I think for me, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's just another year. It's just a date. Like, why can't you do it in the middle of the year or like...
At the beginning of a month or
yeah,
something.
like New Year's is so pointless. But for me, it's like, it's a visual set date where you can remember like, oh yeah, this is a year. Like, it's I think psychologically it does help people set goals and
Yeah.
time them out and see a certain level of progress by a certain date. Like it's a good time frame, and that's what I really enjoy New Year's. Like I don't do anything about it. It's just like I like the mindset of like, okay, this
feel
year I want to do
productive.
this. I feel productive. Yeah. Even if I don't
Yeah.
achieve all my goals, I've
Yeah.
set this standard for myself now.
It's like an incentive, like,
Yeah.
I'm going to do this by this.
Yeah.
But you feel productive by setting these things, but then it's the
Yeah.
actual doing of it.
Yeah, like now you verbalized it, and now you can see if you can actually do it.
Yeah.
And I enjoy, I like that. It's like how can I change myself this time around instead
Yeah.
of not doing it at all, I guess.
When we come back from the break,
Don't like New Year's Grinches.
oh my gosh. When we come back from the break, we will discuss New Year's in further detail, and we will also discuss, is a goal a resolution? Is a resolution a goal? And that whole debate. So please let us know your thoughts and opinions. 07779 481822, or comment on our Facebook Live. Let us know your New Year's thoughts, resolutions, opinions, and join in on the discussion. And we'll see you in a few minutes, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
You're listening to an Inspire FM podcast, making available our popular programs from our daily broadcast on Inspire FM.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome back to Inspire 105.1 FM, and you're listening to the show Sisters Speak, and you're here with me, Faiza, and Sadia, who is currently taking pictures of herself for some reason.
For our Instagram page that you
Yes.
could follow us on at Sister Speak.
Yes, thanks for that. Before the break, we were just discussing the idea or the phrase New Year, New Me, because obviously it's January and apparently this is a time for fresh starts. So if you guys do want to join in the discussion today, please do call or text us in. You can text us in on 07779 481822. You can do that on text and WhatsApp, or you can join in on our Facebook Live discussion, where currently Sadia's going back and forth on this whole idea that a goal is a resolution and so on.
It's not that interesting of a discussion.
Well, Arsalan Khan has just commented, okay,
Are we fighting, Arslan?
if you disagree, then please elaborate how they're the same, and he will explain the difference between the two.
I don't want to do this now. I feel
Well,
like
you
he's
started
an
this
academic.
discussion.
I don't know. I just feel like a resolution is something you want to have done by the end of the year, and isn't that
Is it
what is it in everyone else's heads?
everyone?
Everyone?
Please?
Okay, let's see what the Google definition is saying.
Resolution, right?
A
No,
goal,
but
like it's
why
a
are
goal
you
for the
saying-
year, no?
Wait, you're saying that a goal and a resolution is the same, right?
Yeah.
A
no?
resolution is a firm decision to do or not to do something, right?
It could be my goal to not to do or to do something. That's what a goal is, to do or not to do something. Like
A
that's
goal is someone sending a ball into the goal.
okay. That's not the goal we mean.
Is the object of a person's ambition or effort or an aim or a desired result.
Is that not doing something?
Resolution is to do or not to do something, though.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, what are the differences going to be? So if you're saying, for example, my goal is to have a stable career by the end of the year, isn't that doing something? Because you would need to, you know, apply for these jobs and all that stuff.
But
What are the differences in that sense? Is there
a
any
goal
point
is something.
in
Yeah, but
differentiating these two?
yeah, but a goal, it doesn't just have to be something that you need to do. It could be something that you maybe aim for, and it doesn't have to be done within this whole year.
But if the goal is for this year, it's this. That's the point. We're not talking about goals for the rest of the year.
Arsalan Khan said even Google disagrees with you.
God, for goodness sake. Okay.
Right, so
We're
we've
not doing this anymore.
established that a resolution and a goal are two different things.
I don't agree, but we
Do you
move.
believe in the phrase "New Year, New Me"?
Yeah, if people want to do that, then
Do you think people are right to poke fun at New Year, New Me?
I mean, do what you want. But I just feel like if someone's actually putting in the effort to be like a better version of themselves, you know, new them, like someone who's healthier or like changing their lives up for the better themselves.
New Year, New
Why
Me.
not? Okay, it's a cheesy saying, but it's got
Because
good intentions.
it's New Year, but it's technically the same you because
It's not like nobody's saying like I'm going to be a whole different person.
yeah, but that's where your resolutions come in.
No, yeah, but that's. I feel like it's. it's a saying that means something that's ambitious, and like people are trying to do a good thing. So like, what's the use in making fun of it?
Okay,
It's
fine.
like it's poking fun at the people who are actually trying to do something good.
To be serious.
Yeah.
So not only is it a new year, but it's a new decade. Do you think that kind of gives it more pressure or
Oh
excitement?
my god, yeah. Because
Yeah?
think about what we're gonna do this decade. Last decade was the year of our ending high school and doing the whole of sixth form, uni,
Yeah.
and now this one's the one for our careers.
Yeah.
And,
Everyone let us know,
starting-
how was your past
the rest of
decade
it.
and what's different and what's going to be different in this decade for you? Because
Okay.
this decade is like,
2010. Where were we?
we were in high school.
Age 12. And
We were in high
13.
school.
High school, year 9.
I think, yeah, I can't remember.
Whoa! I can't believe it's been 10
Wow.
years since year 9.
We were in high school and then we went to college and then uni. And then this decade is like, apparently
So
it's
many
marriage.
stages of-
Apparently it's marriage.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
And then
wait,
babies
32.
and
Well,
stuff.
yeah, let's hope so by then.
Do you think there's more pressure, the fact that we've now started a new decade?
No.
Do you feel excited that it's a new decade?
I think I really want my stuff to like sort itself out before I went into the new decade, and then I'd
Yeah.
be really excited. But right now I'm like,
To
Oh,
be
it's
honest,
2020 and I
yeah.
don't have myself together.
But then there's me and I'm like, I'm not really phased that it's a new decade.
you're what?
I'm not really phased by the fact that it's
Fair
a new
enough.
decade.
I think we have different mindsets with this kind
Yeah.
of thing, though, because I'm the person who literally has a whole decade diary. So for
Yeah.
me, it was like it's literally a
And
whole
I'm just
new
like, I'm
book.
just going to take every day as it comes, even though every day is kind of organized.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to do every single day.
Yeah, that's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think,
What kind of
that is the
person are
way-
you guys, whoever's listening out there?
yeah.
Let us know, what kind of person are you? Are you more of you'll plan over the whole decade?
I'm not
Like
doing that.
Saudi hair.
That's- No. I don't have a plan for the whole decade.
As in
I just
monthly,
hope it's-
maybe?
Yeah. I
Do
don't
you
know.
plan every single day?
Me?
Yeah.
I used to, but now I'm like, ugh. I want to get everything sorted so I have stuff to plan.
Do you think January
You know
is the
what I
month of
mean?
like organization and planning and doing this and this?
Yeah.
But then you get to
I'm
June and it's like,
exhausted.
I don't remember anything I did set in January, and everything kind of changes. Because think about it, where you start in January, 6 months down the line, are you going to be in the same position?
No, I'd hope not.
I mean,
Absolutely not.
you could be better, you could be worse.
I
You
think
don't
I'd
know.
be better in
God
6 months.
forbid that you're better.
God
You're worse.
forbid
sorry.
I'm worse. Because it's going to be hot then and everything's better in the summer.
Yeah, because this weather's awful.
Honestly, it really ruins
no,
everything.
it's nice.
No, because you can't
sometimes.
do anything.
Why do you want to do something when daylight savings, like, look at the time?
That's what I mean. Like, you're not motivated to like go out and have fun and stuff like.
Yeah, you're motivated
Sun
because
is like.
you have work in the morning at like, you have to wake up at 6
Serotonin.
a.m.
I just miss the sun, guys. I really miss the
Wow.
sun.
Right. Do you usually stick to your resolutions then? Oh, hang on 1 second before Arsalan Khan says a
This
goal.
boy's back.
A goal is something you put your whole effort in for, but a resolution doesn't have to be the same.
Why doesn't it?
You're asking me?
Why wouldn't you put
I
your
feel like-
all into a resolution?
Is it the same thing though?
No, we're not doing this anymore.
It's not the same thing.
We're moving on from this because can't be asked.
Sadia's butthurt. Right. Anyways. How do you deal with things not going to plan then? Because obviously
I give myself a really hard
things
time
don't
with it.
always go to plan.
No, yeah.
More or less, they don't. How do
Yeah.
you deal with that?
I don't know because
When
I think
something doesn't go your way.
I've always been someone where things just always tend to work out. Like I achieve my goals one way or another, and right now it's like it's a lot harder in the real world for that to be the case. Like I was always doing so much in uni. Like I had like 3 societies on the go in third year, and on top of my degree and work experience and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, no, once I finish uni, I'll still have everything together because look at how much I did before that. But it's like everyone's super, super impressive in the real world. You're competing with people who are in 5 societies, etc. Like in my field, it's just, there's not many jobs. Oh, I don't know. I'm not dealing with it well because I think it's like a very new thing for me, this whole like not achieving things. But then I think it hasn't been that long either. I need to stop giving myself such a hard time about it.
I genuinely think you're giving yourself way too much of a hard time.
But I just hate this transitionary stage.
Yeah,
It's
but
just been going on for too
no
long.
one starts off like straight away.
I know, I guess
Sometimes
it's
you
just
have
because
to-
like, some people have just got grad jobs straight out of uni.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to ride the storm before you get on it. And not gonna lie, you're in your own path as well. It does not matter where they are, because you might even reach better than them.
Yeah, I just want it now.
Yeah, I think the patience there may be just a little bit of a
Building
needs a little bit of improvement. Yeah, but I think when it comes to you want to achieve your goals and things don't go to plan, that's where having patience comes in. Not everything goes to plan. Sometimes you might think that you're happy in one place, and then all of a sudden things just, you're not happy anymore, and it's time for a change, and you just want to get out there. You're not mentally okay, and sometimes it's part of your journey in this world, it's part of your journey in this life, to go through bad patches to get to good, to ride out this horrible storm to get to the good side. And it all depends on you and how strong you are, and like you said, it's building character at the same time as well.
I've been strong. I just
Don't break down now.
I've been strong for so long.
She's gonna cry, guys.
I'm not.
Here's a tissue.
Laughing through it. I don't. That's a glasses cleaner.
Okay, well, I tried. But ride the storm and have patience, because honestly, Allah has a plan for you, and He has a good plan. And sometimes He will make you wait longer because He wants to give you something good.
Some people have bad plans.
And then they learn their lessons from that.
Not everyone does.
They do.
No, I think I'd learned my lesson.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
More or less, you do learn. You learn from good experiences and you learn from bad experiences.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get put into a place that actually is make or break, and sometimes you get put into a place which is just so good and you can't find any fault, but that's a test.
Yeah.
You know,
Guys, what's your New Year's resolutions?
I don't really
Goals?
have New Year's resolutions.
Anything you want to achieve this year?
Nope.
What do you want to have happened by the end of the year then?
A few things that I don't really want to
Okay.
share on it. No offense to everyone who's listening, but I feel like sometimes you need to keep certain goals to yourself until you've achieved them.
Yeah,
And then you
that's
can
what I need to
share
start
it,
doing.
because I feel like sometimes you can get really excited and you're like, oh, I want to do this and this and this, and
then you
you're
don't.
and it's kind of like,
Embarrassing.
no, not that, but like sometimes I just get a bit scared of, like, you don't want to say too much about you're doing this and this and this, and then it's not done.
Then isn't it kind of an incentive? Like, you've told people, so now they can keep you accountable
Yeah,
to
but
get it done.
I still hold myself account to myself, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, actually, you're quite what's the thing person? Like, you keep yourself organised and accountable. So.
Do I? Ask
I'm
my
not
mum,
like
because
that.
I mean, she could differ on the answer.
Huh?
Said ask my mum. Nah, I don't know. I think it depends on what kind of person you are. Some people, they may set just goals generally every single day. By the end of today, I'm going to do this kind of thing. Some people might set a goal for the whole year. Some people might set a goal and they won't achieve it until a couple of years. I guess it's down to the person that you are as well. Again, having that patience as well. Like, set your goal, and then in time, things will happen. And I know it's a struggle for a lot of people, especially grads who have come out of uni and trying to find a job. Don't give up.
Scam of degrees will help give you.
Don't give up, because honestly, it will take time, and what's good for you will come to you. You just have to be patient and honestly keep applying. Don't give up. Like, there is a job out there for you, believe me. Like, you could go through hundreds of applications, but someone will pick you. And also go off on your experience as well. Get as much experience as you can. Go out and explore. Get that. More or less nowadays, I feel as though it is all about your experience. A degree is a degree, of course it is, but experience life, experience this world, because life's too short to be sitting there in your room behind a computer screen applying for jobs for the whole day. Of course, apply for jobs, but sometimes even go into some places, hand in your CV. You don't know, some firms may recruit being like, they fully came into the firm or the business place, wherever you're applying to, they hand in their CV. And sometimes it's even researching as well, and making, like, networking, contacts, go through people even. sometimes
that's the most important.
yeah, sometimes it's not a bad thing asking for help. Like I know some people are very headstrong, like, no, I want to do this myself. There's no harm in asking people because you're still doing that yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I have a question for our listeners.
I'm scared. Before you do, 1 comment in, 2 comments in.
Oh.
We have they never left their name. So if you are listening, please do tell us your name. They said Allah mentions in the Quran to the nearest meaning, you plan and Allah plans and Allah is the best of planners. Couldn't agree more, because remember, at the end of the day, Allah wants what's best for you as well.
Yeah.
So should you not get it now,
To tie your camel.
you will. Yeah.
Hey.
Also, Arsalan Khan also said, like everyone else, I also plan things before I actually work on them. And obviously this decade is going to be different for me, inshallah. As you said, settle down, etc. But Allah knows best and his plans are always better than ours. See?
Yeah.
So I think the main consensus here is when something isn't going to plan, just remember that, we may plan, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala plans, and Allah is the best of planners. And that was Taj, I believe, who said that. Thank you for that. Yeah. Sadia, you have a question?
Yeah, I want to say, so since we are going into our 5th year of Sisters Speak,
Wow.
I want to ask our listeners, if you've got any feedback for our show, please let us know. If there's anything you want us to speak about, let us know. Like, we are always welcome to new ideas and topics. And also if you're interested in getting involved as well, let us know, etc. This is our 5th year. I think we should have a reboot, like a
refresher,
regeneration of our show.
You're really
Give us
taking
some
in
ideas,
you're really taking in the New Year spirit, aren't you?
No, our half decade.
Oh, half decade. Oh my god.
We actually need to find out when our anniversary is.
Moving back to the New Year's stuff, should some of us be easier on ourselves when things don't go to plan? Again, yes. Sadia, you should be easy on yourself. I think that goes back to the whole, we plan, Allah plans, and He is the best of planners. So, what advice would you give to someone who is setting themselves a goal, Sadia? Not a resolution, a goal.
Make it realistic. Don't set too many, and prioritize what's most important for you right now. So, for example, this year I've given myself 3 main goals / resolutions.
But what about go big or go home? Or
No.
But then there's also slow and steady wins the race kind of thing.
Figure out how, plan it. How long will it take for you to achieve a certain goal? Is it realistic for you to have achieved it by the end of the year, or does it need longer than that? What do you need to do to actually stick to it, etc. That kind of thing.
What are you? Are you more of the go big or go home person, or the slow and steady wins the race kind of person? Or does it depend?
It depends, and both.
Let us know your thoughts as well, those listening. What kind of person are you when you set yourself a goal or a resolution? Because they're both different, of course.
I think the small ones can make some of the biggest differences, but also if you've got big ideas as to what you want to do this year, if you want to start your own business this year, make that your resolution, make that your goal. Why not? No, don't let other people's opinions stop you.
Yeah. I think, again, it depends on your goal and the resolution that you set, because sometimes that is kind of a go big or go home kind of thing, whereas certain things, other goals and things that you may set, they do take more time, and sometimes you have to be very careful as to how you go about achieving certain things as well, because remember, you don't want to, for example, you set a goal of doing something, but the way you get there is not the correct or ideal way that you should have gone about it. I think there's also that, because sometimes you might get really excited that I want to achieve this goal and I know how to do it, and you do it in the wrong way, basically.
Okay.
So for example, I can't really give an example because I wouldn't, but do you see where I'm coming from? When you set a goal and the way you achieve that goal is not doing it in the correct way,
right?
Whereas doing it in a correct, realistic way, the right way, basically, is which way you should be doing it.
Is there any right ways, really?
Yeah, I feel like with some goals, it depends, obviously. You don't want to go about the wrong way and hurt people to achieve
Yeah, I guess
certain
so.
goals.
Like, if you're going to set your own business, for example, if that's
Yeah.
your goal.
You don't want to hurt people to get
Yeah.
where you are, and you know.
But then in business, that happens a lot.
Yeah, of course. But like, you don't, especially the ones who are closest to you, like, don't hurt the people around you who, when they're only trying to support you, kind of thing. Because I know, like, people get frustrated along the way. Of course you do, when you're trying to achieve something, when you want to go about doing something, or you know, perhaps you may think that you want to
What if these
achieve a certain
people
career
close to
goal.
you are stunting your growth and being not very helpful and making it harder for you to actually.
Maybe that's the thing, that you have to go about speaking to them. For example, you want to achieve a certain career goal, and I know some people might relate to this, but family members may say, "Oh no, but you should go down this route instead," and they kind of limit you, and they say certain things, and then you're just like, "Okay, fine, I have to go down this route instead," because
Don't do that.
yeah,
please.
don't like. There's
Your
a
passions,
there's
you
a
won't do
thing
things
about
well if you're doing for certain people.
yeah, talk to your friends, talk to your family. Like, there are ways of solving things, and a simple discussion can solve that as well. When loads of people have hardships when they try to achieve their goals, their resolutions, etc., but there's a certain way of going about it, and be wary of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, your resolutions are your resolutions. Like, we can't tell you how to go about them or anything. You know what's best. Like, do your research, figure out how you're going to do it realistically, and we wish you the best in achieving those.
Yeah, that's quite crazy though. A new decade now.
New decade. Do you have decade resolutions? I wonder. No, I don't. I imagine where you were 10 years ago. I was 12. We didn't know where we were going to be.
No.
That's mad.
Like a whole decade.
Do you know what I was doing 10 years ago? I actually, I can read it.
You're
in my
probably
diary,
sitting in
so
maths.
I was
Crying.
writing. You remember Blackberries? I remember I was like, I have my first few articles in my diaries on me complaining about my dad confiscating my Blackberry.
Speaking to your mic. Your
Sorry.
dad confiscated your...
Yeah, I was like ranting about how much I hate my dad for confiscating my phone and how
Wow.
he understands.
Childhood at its finest, guys. First world problems right there for you. That was a decade ago, and now look at yourself. Maybe it's a good thing.
Now
New
I can
Year's...
afford my own phone, kind of.
New Year's helps you look back on things, and it kind of makes you change your mentality and the way you would do things differently in the future as well. For example, back then we'd be very...
It's a good reflection as well.
Yeah, like we'd be very like, oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. But then, once we hit adulthood, it was kind of like, you need to be realistic. You need to think like this, and you need to think like this, and you need to consider all these factors as well. And it makes you think more realistically. Not that...
I miss being a child and not
Yeah.
caring about these things.
But not that, you should lose the fact of being very ambitious and, being...
A dreamer. I miss being a dreamer.
Yeah, but you can
Not
still
as
be
allowed.
a dreamer.
You can, but you have to think of so many aspects.
Yeah, but it's
especially
not a
money.
bad thing.
No.
I
Now
think...
we have to be dreamers in different ways.
Yeah, it's kind of
You have to push
unfortunate.
yourself more.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, it's a good reflection. Like, think about how you were back then compared to now. Even think how you were last year this time. Like, where were you? And what could you do differently? Yeah, but what could you do differently to this year or the next year? And how could that kind of contribute into what you want to achieve as well? Because, some things that you were doing, maybe some people that you were talking to last year or some people the year before, you could maybe contact again this year, fresh start, of course, new year, fresh start kind of thing. Change the way you go about doing things. Sometimes you're stuck, lost my words there. Sometimes you're like so stuck in the same routine, work, sleep, eat, repeat, work, sleep, eat, repeat. But change it up, do something new, do something outside your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
That's one thing I also want to say is that people's comfort zones is the biggest reason why they cannot progress.
Yeah.
Because you're so stuck in what you already know that you don't want to move out of that place
Push
because
yourself.
it's so nice and safe. But how are you going to progress or move on if you don't get out of that comfort zone?
Yeah.
It could be the smallest thing, for example, like, I don't know, starting a new job. Or it could be like talking to new people that you've never ever spoken to before. Talking to someone yourself alone without having someone with you, kind of thing. Like the smallest of things to the biggest of things. But if you're going to stay in that comfort zone, you're not going to progress further in life. So, step out, do something different, go out into the world, get experience, says an Asian girl with Asian parents. But still, do something within limits that is halal, obviously. Don't go off the boundaries, but yeah, experience things new. Get out of your comfort zone, because that is killing your progress in life.
Yeah, life short. Do it. Sorry, I feel like I've just hit my I
low.
had so much coffee a few hours ago. Now I'm just hitting my caffeine
low point.
low point.
Maybe that's one for you. Don't drink too much caffeine this year.
Well, I no, mine is cut down on sugar.
Oh. Do you think,
Processed food.
is it worth
Sugar.
keeping resolutions?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I like tracking them, seeing how I.
Yeah, but is it worth it though? If more
Why
or less,
Is it not what it's better
because
to
people,
try.
I feel
than
like
to
when
not
it hits
try at all.
February or March, people forget about it, or it's
not everybody
something
does though. Some people do, but some people actually go through with it, and that's worth having a concept for a resolution.
True.
Oh,
One final comment before we leave. Arslan Khan says you've chosen you've chosen a very good topic today. I could go on and talk about it for hours. You two are doing a great job, mashallah. I wish I could stay long and listen to conversations another time, inshallah. Stay blessed. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for everyone who contributed to today's show as well. We really, really appreciate your feedback. Inshallah, do join us next Tuesday. We will hopefully, inshallah, have another show. Just pray for our consistency this year. I think that's the most important thing.
2020.
Yeah, it's time for Sister Speak consistency and our live shows as well. And also, you can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, or Spotify as well. And the link with that will be on Facebook too later today. So thank you for listening in. Join us next week, inshallah, same time, 6 to 7. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. We stream our daily broadcast on inspirefm.org. You'll find all our daily updates on our social media at Inspire FM Luton.